Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome yet again to another episode of Lunch Guide. My name is Chef Andy, and today we are going to be focusing on some losing and gaining tips. We're also going to be focusing on a very simple dish to go hand in hand with that. We're going to be making a very simple chicken citrus salad, and for that I have some ingredients which I'm about to introduce. So first off, we're going to start off with some chicken. So I'm going to be working some very lean chicken breast. I'm also going to be using some oranges here, which are just going to give us a nice citrusy finish to the salad. I also have some lettuce there, a bit of white onion and some tomato, one nice brown hot dog roll. I've also got some red and yellow pepper. I've got also some spring onion. I've also got some pumpkin seeds, some sumac powder, some red wine vinegar and some olive oil, some parsley, and last but not least, some cherry tomatoes. We're going to slide into a short commercial break now, so do grab your pens and papers if you're taking notes for this recipe. And when we come back, we're going to just dive right into it. So don't touch that dial. We'll be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you who missed the introduction, we're working on a very simple chicken salad today, and I'm going to start off with the chicken itself. So I've got some very beautiful chicken breasts here, and all I'm going to start off by doing is just putting a very thin incision on each side. I'll just do the same for the other piece. So be sure to make a very small incision. Remember, particularly this technique is only to help you aid. It actually aids in cooking your chicken a little faster, and it also gives a very beautiful presentation. So start off by putting your indentations diagonally, and then just start off by crossing over the same cuts, and just continue to do the same for the other piece. Turn it around once and just finish off. So simple to that. Just a bit of salt for seasoning. Be sure to turn them around once and do the same on the other side. Right, next up we have a pan that's already on the go, and we're just going to add some olive oil in there. We're going to turn up our heat to a little higher. We're just going to turn it up a little high now. Just give your pan just a bit of time to heat up. Give your oil a bit of time to heat up as well. And in the meantime, we also have some beautiful bread here that I'm also going to be using. So I'm just going to start off by just trimming its edges. I'm gonna discard those, and with this I'm just going to cut into some nice diagonal chunks as well. Remember, you're making a salad, and particularly one nice way of making a salad really presentable is by giving it a nice selection of cuts. So we're just going to start off by frying our pieces of bread. Remember, we're going to be turning those into some very simple croutons. And now our pan is also hot on the other pan. So I'm just going to start off with by grilling the breast, and I'm going to start with the skin side on the bottom. So just move that around the pan. And I'll do the same with the other piece. Just be sure to move them around slightly. This basically allows them to just coat with a bit of oil. All you need to do now is allow those to continue cooking. And in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and assemble some of the ingredients we'll be using as well for our salad. We're gonna just turn that around, and I'm going to go off by cutting off the onion first of all. I'm just going to take the skins off. And I'm basically using a white onion for this particular salad for the fact that white onion is a little less pungent than the red onion, and it actually really complements a salad as opposed to a red onion. So I'm just going to start off by cutting that root end off, and then just proceed to cut into some half rings. So chop it all the way to the end, discard the other sides, and you can also chop it a little different by taking both the edge tips off and discarding that, and you can actually cut it diagonally as well. So definitely there's no particular technique on how to cut this. As long as you've got your very beautiful half moons, it's definitely okay. So we're just going to add those to a bowl. And as we continue, I'm also going to just turn our chicken around so you can be able to actually see the beautiful marks that we put on earlier. And I'm just going to reduce the heat and allow those to continue cooking. On the other side as well, I have my croutons now, which are almost starting to brown, so just be sure to turn them around a few times, making sure that they color evenly all around. And those should actually be a total of about 4 to 5 minutes. So I'm just going to grab some plates and very handy, some kitchen towel. And to that, we're just going to start off by turning off the heat on the side here. We're just going to take out our croutons and just allow those to continue to drain and cool off. So remember, these are particularly going to your salad a little chill, so you should actually give them just a few minutes or just grill them just before time. And those should actually be very ready to go into your salad at that stage. And now back to our chicken. Chicken is now just about ready to go. And we're just gonna turn that once more just to make sure we color it evenly on both sides. And all you need to do now is allow your chicken to continue cooking at some low heat, and it'll just definitely just continue cooking through. And then just to bring you back to the board, remember we also have some of the ingredients which we'll be adding to our salad. So I'll just start off by trimming the edges of our beautiful red pepper. And all we're going to do now is cut that into some beautiful diagonal chunks. And next up, we also have some yellow bell pepper, so I'm just going to start off by trimming its edges and then proceed to cut that into some julienne cuts. All that goes into your bowl, and you can discard the rest. And now next up, we also have a bit of orange. Remember, we are making a citrus salad, so this will come in handy. So be sure to just start by trimming off the sides and proceed by taking off the skin. So this is a particularly very simple technique of peeling an orange, and it works really well, especially when you're making a salad. Right, so we're going to start off by cutting that into 4 equal pieces. And we're gonna reserve that for our salad for later. I also have a nice whole orange here, which I'm just going to start off by taking the root end off. And this I'm just going to slice into about 3 equal sized rings. And these we're basically just going to reserve on the side for a bit of garnish. I also have some cherry tomatoes here, which we're just going to start by halving. So we should be going with about 4 to 5 pieces. Remember, cherry tomatoes are particularly much more sweeter than your regular tomatoes. And as I mentioned, they do actually really give a beautiful appeal to your salad. So we're just going to go ahead and add those on as well. And last but not least, a bit of your spring onion. So with this, I'm just going to cut lengthways. And we're gonna use about 3 pieces for that. Just add that into your salad. Keep the rest aside. Now just to bring your attention back to the chicken, as you can see, it's now nicely browning. So that should be about a minute away. We're just going to allow that to continue. And now just to finish your salad off, a bit of your lettuce. So just always have some kitchen towel to dry off your board. We're just going to go and do the same with the lettuce and just cut that into some sizable strips. And always be sure to try and find some of those bruised edges that really just make your salad look bad. Always try and discard those beforehand. So our salad goes into our bowl now. And it's as simple as that. Now next up, we're going to be taking our chicken out of the pan, and we're just going to allow it to dry off, to cool off a little bit before we continue to assemble into our salad. But I'm also going to use a bit of kitchen towel for that. Remember, the chicken is a little oily, so you may have to actually drain it quickly before you proceed. And that we're just going to rest on our board like that and turn off our heat, and we're just going to give that a bit of time to just cool off. And now we're going to slide into a short commercial break. We already have most of our condiments done. We're now just going to take a short break and clear our station, and when we come back, I'm going to show how to use most of the ingredients on my right here to complete this very simple salad. So please don't touch that dial. We'll be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you who missed out on what we had started with, we were making some grilled chicken, we did some croutons as well, we cut up some of our condiments, and we also started assembling our simple salad. Now we're in the last process where basically it's all about assembly, and for that you'll need some very simple ingredients. So to start off, you will need a dressing for your salad. So I'm going to be using some red wine vinegar, also be using some olive oil, and just a small pinch of some sumac powder. I'm just going to start off by whisking that together really quickly. Remember, it's just a vinaigrette, so all you're looking for is just a medley between that olive oil and the red wine vinegar, and that's about ready. All right. So next up, I've also got some ingredients here which we're gonna finish off on our salad. So I've also got some pumpkin seeds, but we'll start off by firstly getting our salad preparation ready. So I'm just going to first of all mix this together. And in here I've got a mixture of some spring onions, some red and yellow red peppers, and some beautiful iceberg lettuce. Now we're just going to start off by building our salad, and I'm just going to start with our tomatoes, our orange slices, and I'm just going to place those onto the plate. Next up, I'm just going to grab some lettuce, and as I mentioned, something you need to very much be wary about, especially when plating a salad. A bit of height is always a very good option. So I'm just going to mix some of that lettuce with some of that white onion and just continue to build my salad as I continue. So I particularly like to start with the most blandest of ingredients because they stand out least. So as you can see, you've got a lot of green going on the plate. And now just to break that, we've got a few of these beautiful red bell peppers. You can sprinkle those around, and a few of those beautiful spring onions. So this is basically just to give your salad a bit of a beautiful appearance, a bit of a creativity and a bit of color. And as well, these are all ingredients that are actually going to really give your salad quite a bit of flavor and nutrition. Right, so simple as that. That's quite a very good height for the presentation. So next off, we're going to start off by adding our orange segments. So I'm using some imported oranges, but you're more than welcome to use some local oranges as well. Next up, I'm going to start off by sprinkling or spreading out our cherry tomatoes right around. Remember, these are particularly very good ingredients you can actually incorporate to a salad to give it color. And as well, it also shows a bit of creativity to your loved ones, especially when you place this on the table right at your lunch table. Always tends to show a bit of creativity and a bit of time that went into it. Right, so next up, I'm just going to start by spreading out my croutons around the plate. This one at the center. And next up, just finish that off the beautiful chicken breasts right over the top. And of course, our pumpkin seeds, just sprinkle those right around the sides and on the top. Then just a bit of sumac powder. So this particularly is very good. It's got a beautiful smoked paprika kind of flavor. And now just to finish that off, spread a bit of that beautiful vinaigrette right over the top there. Just allow that to just pour right onto the bottom. And at that particular stage, your salad is now just very much done. So just to finish that off, a bit of a garnish there with a sprig of fresh parsley. And your chicken salad is done, and it is just as simple as that. So I hope you've managed to pick up something that you can bring to your table and also use in your very own kitchens at home. I hope you managed to learn something new today. For those of you who missed out on some of the ingredients we were working on, I did have something different on the table today. I'm using some sumac powder. This is a very good ingredient, particularly with Middle Eastern cuisine, and it really gives a beautiful heat, just like smoked paprika or just paprika would do in most cases. But most of the other ingredients we've used today, I'm sure you can actually be able to purchase this in your regular retail stores, and you can be able to replicate that very same dish. So from the studios and myself, thank you so much for tuning in. You have been watching Lunch Guide on BrandPlus TV. My name is Chef Andy, and I have been your host. And until the next episode, where we continue to bring you some beautiful inspired ingredients and recipes inspired from this very own kitchen to you, thank you so much for tuning in, and bye-bye.